everybody? It's your boy Hanz Fequiere, and it is episode 22 on the Healthcare CEO podcast. I'm always going to love this sign. It's the shit. All right, but speaking about the man, the myth, the guy who is the shit, who's in everything legal, all right, you cannot approach this guy and just say, hey, Jay, Jackie, Mr. This. You better approach him and say, hey, the fly lawyer, because that is his legal name. He is known all over the state of Georgia. He is an entrepreneur at heart, but he is the one who helps people get out of trouble. This is the guy, the man, the myth, who has albums out. He's doing his thing. Listen, age ain't nothing but a number. This guy needs no introduction. He drives the dopest Maybachs. He walks through Atlanta because he owns Atlanta. He needs the key, actually. Let's give it up for my man, the fly lawyer. Let's go.
My God, it is so good to see you. Hanz, it is so good to see you, my guy.
What's up, man? How are you?
Thanks for the invite, man. The fly lawyer could not wait to get here today.
Look, I'm going to just let you talk. I don't even have to interview. You said you've done this shit 5 times, 10,000 times before. And people, I can't even say for those who don't know you, man, you've grown like you've just expedited your popularity. When I first met you, I don't know how many thousand followers, but now you're over 100 something. I'm like, this guy is just the definition of consistency, right?
Thank you.
But people don't know your story. We're going to touch into that.
Absolutely.
But before we get into who the fly lawyer actually is, of course, we got to lay down the house rules. Is that all right with you?
Absolutely.
All right. One of the house rules is, of course, we ask all of our guests to leave their keys at the door. We don't do the no gatekeeping here. Is that cool with you?
I can handle that.
All right. And the second house rule is 90% information, 10% motivation. Everybody got an inspiring story, but we hear a lot about that on social media. We want people to get to know the fly lawyer.
Absolutely.
And I keep going, but the fly lawyer. I forgot it. It's legal now. I cannot address you like that. We're going to talk about that too, because that's so dope. And it went crazy viral on Instagram. You legally changed your name last week?
No, it was 3 years ago. I just simply did a throwback Thursday.
Nice.
And people thought it was brand new.
I did. Everybody did.
That was 3 years ago.
Wow.
November of 2022.
Listen, this guy, man, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to give you the free reins to introduce yourself to people that don't know you. I think everybody know you, but who are you, Mr. Fly Lawyer?
You know, country boy that happened to move to Atlanta. I was born in a little town called Hogansville, Georgia, which is about an hour and a half south of Atlanta. My mother moved us to Atlanta when I was about 6 months old. Went to E.R. Carter Elementary School, John F. Kennedy Middle School, and Booker T. Washington High School. After high school, I joined the Army. I was a U.S. Army paratrooper. After getting out the Army, I joined the Atlanta Police Department, where I served close to 6.5 years. While on the police department, I got my undergrad and my master's, and then once I got my master's, I left and went to law school at Thurgood Marshall at Texas Southern University.
Okay.
And been a lawyer.
Wait. You moving way like that. That was a whole resume. We want to go to. So you from Georgia?
Yes.
You are a Georgia grown.
Absolutely. Moved to Atlanta.
Outcast, ATL.
Absolutely. Moved to Atlanta, Southwest Atlanta, Egan Homes when I was 6 months old.
Dang. Okay, so then you're there, and your area, was it the hood? Was it just country? What was it like?
Southwest Atlanta back in those days in the 60s, everybody kind of worked together. It was camaraderie. Things have changed now, but we all looked out for each other. In fact, the whole time I grew up until before I even went in the Army at 18, I didn't know a Lenox Mall existed. I mean, I heard of it, but never came out of our neighborhood because elementary, nursery, high school, middle school was all in the black neighborhood. The first time I've seen anything that was white was when I had a white roommate in the Army.
Dang. So what's this town that you're from?
Hogansville, Georgia. Population back then was about 3,000, and now it's about 6,000.
Okay, so Jack, the fly lawyer. Like in most black towns, ain't too many people making it out, right? And they're not making it out like you. They're making it out to get like a job. You know what I mean? And not even corporate America, maybe in the industrial job or government job. So what was it like? You grew up in this small town with 3,000 people. Ideas are probably limited.
No, I was born there. We moved to Atlanta when I was 6 months old. So I grew up in Southwest Atlanta.
So you grew up seeing people doing their thing.
Absolutely.
So there was
Well, I didn't know because remember when you're living in the hood, you don't get to see many people do that thing if you just grew up in the hood.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what was the age where you're like, What was the military thrown upon you?
No, let me tell you what happened. I was in ROTC in high school,
Okay.
and I was a battalion commander. And I knew that seeing my mother work in the laundry and seeing my daddy work at an ice cream plant, I knew it had to be more to life than that because they worked their whole lives looking forward to retirement. And then once they retired, you kind of die.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, why would I spend 60 years looking forward to retirement when I want my flowers today? So that's why I went in the Army and just never looked back.
So right out of high school, you knew you wanted something more.
Absolutely. I went in the Army when I was 17 years old, graduated early, and then joined the military.
So you're always pretty smart.
Well, determined.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
I've got more determination than smarts.
Me too.
Yes.
Good. I feel better about myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's great. I love the way I'm gonna say I'm not really smart, but I'm determined. So did you know back then that you wanted to be a lawyer and a judge and
From about the seventh grade, what I did, I saw people that had done these things. I saw my uncle was in the military.
Okay.
I had a friend that was a police officer. Eldrin Bell was, back in those days, was the chief of police.
Okay.
And then I had friends that was a judge. So I said, maybe I'll just follow their footsteps because remember, in life, not many things are new. You just have to know how to redo the same steps. So that's what happened. So I always knew from about the seventh grade I wanted to be a police officer, police chief, join the Army, be a lawyer, be a judge, and be a prosecutor. And I've done all of those things.
You did a mental or maybe wrote it down roadmap of what you wanted in the seventh grade.
Around the seventh grade, absolutely.
How do we get kids to do that now that's stuck on video games?
I think the problem is kids don't play outside anymore. Because I played outside and I got to see the fresh air, played with friends. And I think building that camaraderie is how you decide what you really want to do in life.
Wait, I gotta ask you though, what outside you played in? Because when I played outside, we ain't want to be no cops. We were
Oh yeah. I mean, man, in Southwest Atlanta, Northwest Atlanta, Egan Homes, we did everything together. We had, remember, there was a black neighborhood, so we had black police officers. And,
Okay.
Oh yeah, so everything was black until I went in the Army.
Okay, I got you. I was gonna
Absolutely.
say, what outside you played in? We was
Absolutely.
not trying to be cops when
Absolutely.
we were growing up. So you had this roadmap, and then you said, okay, I gotta go to the military because you was an ROTC. So that kind of gave you a little bit of the foundation, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the Army actually gave me that adulthood. It really grew me up in terms of responsibility, because I went in the Army as an E3, so I was like a squad leader, and then became the battalion, a corporal at that time, and got out as a sergeant. So when I got out of the Army, I was so regimented to knowing that when I joined the police department, it was just second nature because I called cadence in the police academy. I was my class speaker in the Atlanta Police Academy. Andrew Young was the mayor. He had just became mayor during my class, which was class 100. So I spoke at our police graduation.
How long did you do in the military?
I was in the military for 3 years because you have to be 20 to be an Atlanta police officer. So I was in the Army from 17 to 20. And then I applied for the police department while I was still in the Army. I said, well, if I don't get accepted on the police department, I'll just make the Army a career. But I got accepted, and that's when I got out and joined the Atlanta Police Department.
And it sounds easy, right? Because your life seems like it was planned, like bum, bum. Was your parents like, hey, who was that person to go? Because you, again, determined, but even determination needs guidance.
Absolutely.
Who was that like?
Believe it or not, I just happened to be a self-motivator. Like I said, my mom, she went to maybe the 8th grade. I think my dad went to like the 9th grade. So I'm the first person in my family that has ever gone to college.
Wow. Any siblings?
Yes. My brother, he died about 4 years ago. My
sorry
sister
to hear
died
that.
about a year ago. So I'm the only one left.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
sorry to hear that, man. God bless them. And your parents, I'm assuming, are.
Yeah, they're deceased as well.
Wow. Okay. You got a lot of people riding on your shoulders spiritually, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's still looking at you like, what are we going to do next?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I
God.
wake up every day to have fun and to do my thing.
We gonna talk about that, boy. You have fun going to McDonald's like you just this dude, man, it's incredible. And I was so excited when you was like, hey, I'm gonna join you on this podcast, because from the beginning, you're on my list. I created a list 7 months ago about who I wanted.
Absolutely.
I was like, all right, I gotta get the fly lawyer, I gotta get these people, and God has been blessing me. But I was just like, it's such a blessing to have you. And the reason I'm so excited about this podcast, because you and I, we've seen each other at events, and we always take the pictures. Like, what's up, my guy? I take the pictures. But I was like, I never get a chance to sit down and know him.
Absolutely.
And now I get a chance to sit down and know the man behind, the fly lawyer. Or the fly lawyer is 367.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to jump back to your life, but I want to ask you a question. Is the fly lawyer 367, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day?
It
or
is.
Is it like I got to take this off now?
I don't ever leave home without being the fly lawyer. There's always my logos on my jackets, the fly lawyer on my shirts. When you are a brand, for an example, McDonald's never have to advertise, but they stay relevant by advertising. That's the point. You must always stay relevant. There's no such thing as too much marketing, because if you're not marketing correctly, you're really not in business.
So, but are you marketing life? Because this seems like dude right there, he cooks, right? If we go to McDonald's, he be judging the fries. I'm like, bro, relax.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is there ever time where you like, Falcons game on, man, don't call me, ask me no legal questions. I am not the fly lawyer right now. I'm Jackie.
Believe it or not, I balance it very well. If the Falcons are on, or if it's on the weekends, I'm still the fly lawyer, but I don't think about the law. I work pretty much from 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. I turn everything off after 5:30 during the week, and I turn everything off on the weekends. The only exception is that if someone calls me on a Saturday at 6 p.m. and say, my brother's in jail charged with armed robbery, then if you've got funds at that time, then I'm going to meet you on the weekend. But if you just want to talk about his case, I'll say call me on Monday.
Okay, so how much money does it take for you to stop watching a Falcons game?
It has to be an armed robbery, has to be a murder, but if it's a speeding ticket, you got to call me on Monday.
Right? Unless they losing.
That's right, especially if they lose.
I'll take this call.
That's right.
All right, cool.
Yes.
That's crazy, man. So what I'm hearing, and I'll ask you questions sometimes that I kind of am leaning you because I see where you're going, and I always want to try to make sure that we leave everything like we display the obvious for people. And I think the obvious is, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, is be your brand like 24. If it's something you're passionate about, it's not hard to be that all the time.
Absolutely.
Because people can see right through it. Because there's got to be a lot of people looking at you like, man, he don't never turn it off. No, I don't, because this is who I am.
That's correct.
They're waiting for you to turn it off.
And that won't happen because it's actually innately inside of me. It's a part of me. I wake up every day the fly lawyer. When I go to sleep, I'm the fly lawyer. While I'm actually sleeping, I'm the fly lawyer. So I never turn that off. It's simply different times, and it's always at the same level.
Yeah, I know.
It's always at the same level.
It's dope because I'm like, this is crazy. So let me ask you, what kind of law do you practice?
I do criminal defense and personal injury. I do criminal defense and mostly car wrecks when it comes to personal injury.
So right now, if we heard like a boom, would you just leave this podcast and go?
No, they would call me. I would then send them
I'm
to
saying
my...
if you heard it outside.
Oh, no, I don't do ambulance chasing.
Okay.
Because those are the lawyers that are desperate for the funds. But no, people have to contact me first. It is unethical to reach out to a client who just had an accident. For an example, I'm riding down the street and see an accident and jump out and give them my card. I could literally lose my law license. That is completely unethical. So ethics as a lawyer is number one. So if you call me, now for an example, if you refer me a case, then it's quite okay for me to reach out to that person.
Yeah.
But I cannot reach out to that person first without somebody referring me or they calling me directly.
And it's crazy because what you're saying is I never turn it off, but I still put ethics behind how I move.
Absolutely.
And that's like one of the things that I have to realize, like being a healthcare CEO, I have to be a little bit more passionate about it because it's like you create the algorithms, right? That you can be part of somebody's algorithm if you're constantly in their face. I'll fall back and I'm looking at you, I'm like, I gotta really love this thing. And I do, but I gotta show people I eat, breathe, and sleep on this shit every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go buy a Maybach. And just
Absolutely.
take pictures of my ambulance. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. So, but I want to go back to like you in the military for 3 years. You in high school. You graduated high school at 17.
Absolutely.
And then you went to the military and got all those accolades and promotions in 3 years?
I did.
And then you went to the police department. And how long did it take you to become sergeant? Or
In fact, I got out in the police department. I was a sergeant while I was in the Army. But no, I was a patrolman while I was a police officer. The whole 6 years I was a patrolman.
what? And I want people to, like, again, we are focused on leaving the breadcrumbs, creating a blueprint for people that want to become the next judge, the next, fly lawyer and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about how great your brand is and what makes you separate yourself from everybody else. But just you created a blueprint, and was there any like this might not work, but it just seems like it was so easy for you to be in this confident space where I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or was it like I'm going to try this and see what happens?
My dad always told me that nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. And so once I make my mind up, there's no looking back. So I never say, I wonder if I can do this. I simply say, I am going to do this. And so before I became the fly lawyer, I was the Bentley lawyer. And let me explain that.
I got to hear this.
I used to drive a Bentley. And so when it comes to marketing, I'm constantly thinking. So one night I said, I drive a Bentley. So why don't I coin the term the Bentley lawyer? Had it for 2 years, man. It was absolutely amazing. All of a sudden, one day I get an email. And it was a cease and desist letter from the headquarters in Bentley. I'm like, why? So I open up the email. It says, you are to stop using our emblem right away. We're going to sue you if you don't. I need you to get rid of your business cards, your letterhead. My whole heart just stopped because I had never got a cease and desist. So I called the lawyer up and I said, hey, man, look, I said, I realize it's your emblem. I said, I'm going to give me 2 weeks and everything will be gone. He said, no problem. So I was mad. Now, let me make sure you understand that because I had used it for 2 years.
That's thousands.
And so I got home that night. I said, Jackie, look, I said, you need something that nobody could ever take away from you. So I said, you wear nothing but red bottoms. At the time, I might have had maybe 200 pairs. I'm at 268 now. I said, you wear nothing but Miguel Wilson collection. I said, you wear Keith and James red bottoms hat. You wear the Rolex. You wear the Hermes. I said, you're really fly.
Wait. Time out. 260.
268 now.
I'm doing the math real quick.
Yes.
Just going to do the math. Like the average pair is like 1,200.
That's correct.
I got 1 or 2 pairs myself. Damn! $321,000 in shoes?
That's correct.
Well, they are a tax write-off.
Yes. Well, believe it or not, I don't. I just buy them and keep it moving.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I do my best thinking at around 3 a.m. And so that because everything is quiet, you're peaceful. And I said, you've got all these things. I said, you're fly. Then I said, you're now the fly lawyer. So I went the next day, Secretary of State's office, reserved that name, contacted a trademark lawyer. She then filed it in the U.S. Office of Patent and Trademark. My name is officially trademarked. No lawyer in America can call themselves the fly lawyer. And I've never looked back.
That's dope. And you don't have to worry about somebody giving you a cease and desist.
That's correct.
That's crazy. I love that. Man, I just love the fact that, you just have a map. And even if it doesn't work, it seems like you're confident that it will work.
Yes. And in fact, when I got rid of the Bentley lawyer, it took me 2 weeks, and then I even forgotten that I was ever the Bentley lawyer because everything I had, business cards, letterheads, billboards, it was all switched out in 2 weeks, and I never gave it another thought.
Yeah, now this is all you.
People don't even remember the Bentley lawyer anymore.
That's right.
That's correct.
That's when you came out with a really dope song because it makes them forget the first song.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's how it worked. That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yes.
I do remember the Bentley lawyer, though.
Correct.
I didn't know you personally, but I remember that name.
Absolutely.
Dang, okay, that's what's up. So now you just create, you had a vision, so I'm just laying the foundation now for people, man. It doesn't matter if you're 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, have that vision, go after it, create a blueprint for it, right? And then after that, put yourself in positions to win, educate yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? So now, from high school to the military, no college yet.
Correct.
Then the military to the police department.
Absolutely. I was a patrolman.
Still no college.
That's right. And what happened, after I had been on the police department about a year and a half, a college called Brenau College, Brenau, they had satellite campuses. The main campus was in Gainesville, Georgia, but they had an Atlanta satellite campus. They came to the police department at 1 a.m. in the morning because I worked the night shift. And they sit us down and say, hey, how would you all, some of these police officers would like to go to college? I'm like, wow, that might work.
1 in the morning?
Yeah, because remember, the night shift, they have to come in that time of
Oh,
morning.
yeah.
So
You're right.
Brenau College came in, gave us a little spiel. I'm like, I think I might want to do this. And lo and behold, 4 years later, I had my bachelor's degree while I was still a police officer. Then I continued and got my master's degree from Brenau College while I was a police officer. And that's when I applied to law school at Thurgood Marshall at Texas Southern and went to law school full time.
Thurgood, that's what's up. And so you always knew you wanted to be a lawyer?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you always know what type of law you wanted to practice?
Yes, because I knew being a police officer, since I knew the criminal arena and I had seen so many lawyers in court, I knew that would be it for me.
All right, we're going to bounce around. So let me ask you this, because this is a question that's hit me, right? So when somebody gets a public defender, but a lot of times what people hear, and even I hear this, is it's almost crazy for you to get a public defender against a cop because everybody hangs out with each other. Is that true?
No,
Okay.
it is not. People, they're called public defenders, but the lay public, when they have such a bad reputation, people call them public pretenders. But believe it or not, they are lawyers, and they're just as qualified in terms of having a law license as a private lawyer. The difference is the reason why they have a bad rap is because they get the same paycheck and they may have 350, 500 caseload at a time. They're going to be murder cases, armed robbery. You're only one person. They don't have the time to invest in your case the way a private lawyer would. And that's why you get so many people pleading guilty to crimes, because public defenders just don't have the time.
They need to change the name to substitute defenders. They like substitute teachers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They ain't got the time. They ain't got the...
But I know so many good public defenders. In fact, the majority of them, they're doing a wonderful job. It's simply the public has given them a bad reputation. But public defenders, I know some of the smartest public defenders in this state. The only problem is that they're overworked and underpaid. That's where the reputation comes from.
They need more staffing.
That's correct.
To help them out.
Because think about it, when you're in court and you're in front of a judge as a public defender, you already got 80 cases on your calendar for that day, and the judge will say, oh yeah, because you've got a whole list. The judge will say, Mr. Smith, we're going to do this murder case today, and when you finish this case, we're going to do an armed robbery next week. So you're going from back to back. Private attorneys get a break between cases.
And you guys get to investigate a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So the public defender might say, hey, let's just settle.
Correct. Because they're trying to clear their caseload, and you can't, they're just too much overworked.
So there's a lot of people that could be like locked up right now that don't deserve it.
Could be totally innocent because they've been in jail for 2 years waiting on a trial, and they're so worn down to where when the DA makes them an offer, they'll say, man, let me just take this to get it over. They could be completely innocent, but it happens.
So is that what you saw? Like, what did you see in the police department that you was like, oh, I'm going to just do this? Because on the police side, you really don't see nothing but traffic tickets, right?
No, you investigate rapes, homicide, because remember, you're the investigating officer. But when it reaches a certain level, it goes to a detective, but I'm the initial investigating officer. So anytime there's a trial, I have to go as a police officer and testify to my investigation.
So you saw things by that experience to say, I'm going to...
Absolutely. And that's why, although I fight hard for my clients, I'm immune to it because I've seen it already as a police officer. So although I'm fighting for my client and he knows I'm fighting for him, when I leave court at 5 p.m., I'm back to my rap music, going out to dinner, because you have to shut it off. That's why so many lawyers are unhappy. They take their work home. I've never done that.
All right. So let me ask you a question. You can answer it. You don't have to answer, right? You ever have that dumbass client that keep doing the same shit and you be like, man, I can't help you no more?
Well, I get repeat business over and over from some clients. And I must admit, I never turn them down because I'm in business. And secondly, I still want to assist them. I may chew them out. I'm like, man, how can you do this again?
I just got you out.
But I'm going to fight for them again. And I got to give you a funny joke. And this is a true story. There was a guy that one of my clients was supposed to meet me at the Gwinnett County DA's office, District Attorney's office, so we can do a proffer so I can try to get him a better deal. So he could tell the DA what occurred. So he texts me and I text him. I said, hey, meet me at the office. DA office at 9 a.m. The next day, I'm at the DA's office in Gwinnett County, and he's at my office. He said, I don't see you. I said, are you at the DA's office? He said, no, I'm at your office because you said the office. True story. Man, I could not believe it. And I text back, I said, when have you heard me talking slang? I said, I didn't say, I said, I would have said my office, not the office. But so, true
DA's
story.
office, and
Yes.
he went to
Right.
That's hilarious. All right, I gotta ask a question, Chef. Are you here? I gotta ask you. It's just an inquiring minds want to know if I'm the only inquiring mind. I'm not gonna ask, and I'm gonna ask you as well. All right. Do you guys ever wonder if attorneys take cases where they know the dude's found guilty? No.
I mean, I feel like.
Y'all never saw a law-abiding citizen?
Do they take cases that they know they're going to take them anyway?
Yeah, and try to poop low. So do you ever take a case and you like,
Well,
I'm gonna defend them anyway?
No, we have an ethical duty.
Okay.
So if I take one penny from you, you could be totally guilty, but I have to fight and make sure the state proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't ever judge my client because that's when you become a bad lawyer. When you start putting your personal feelings into your client's case and you start judging them saying, man, how could he do such a thing? That's when your skills and your ethics become compromised. So if I take one penny from you and whether I take 1 million from you, I'm going to fight for you on the same level.
Is that something, because what you're telling me, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that in law, which I learned, and you're the expert on this, definitely most of it is logical. It's not emotional, right?
There are some lawyers that can never do criminal law. I mean, I know plenty.
No, I mean, but as far as you.
Yes, it's not emotional for me because I look at what they're accused of doing and I look at the law that applies to it, and then I say, what can I do to win? I never take it personal. For an example, if I'm defending someone who's accused of molesting a child, that's very emotional. But I don't look at it that. I look at it, I've got to defend my client. It's the government's job, the district attorney's job, to be concerned about the victim.
Yeah.
Because although I have sympathy, that's not my role when I'm defending my client.
Yeah.
My goal is to try to get my client to go home.
2 questions to that. Is that same thought what you take to your business? Because, Warren Buffett said, if you make a decision, if it's 99% logical, and you'll most of the time make a good decision.
Correct.
So is that how you hey,
that is correct.
Take the emotion out?
I do. Whether it's with my office manager, whether it's with my senior paralegal, it has to make legal sense for me, logical sense for us to make money. If it's just something whimsical out in the air, I don't even think about it. It has to actually make sense for me. If it makes sense, then it's going to make me some money.
Dang, that's crazy. So I was in court, and I learned in court years ago, I was fighting somebody for my ambulance company. They didn't care about the emotions. They just said, Mr. Fequiere, what do you want? What did you do wrong? What do you want? All that other, y'all used to be there. We don't care about that.
Correct.
That's when I think that year I changed even my approach with people. What's the problem? What's the solution? All this.
Yes. I don't do the drama part.
That.
I tell my clients, look, they'll come to my office, they're crying, and you got to give them a little leeway. Yeah. But then you have to say, okay, now we need to get to the point.
Yeah.
Now let's put down the tissue. I need you to tell me what happened. Correct.
And then the way your delivery, I'm pretty sure they're like, okay, I can.
Yes.
He's here to help.
Absolutely.
We ain't here to hear all the other stuff. It's not relevant. And so is that and that helps you really just cut all the fat off of everything from business to finances to everything.
I look at, to me, it's almost black and white. We start here and we want to end here and we want to go straight through.
That's crazy. I love the way you think, and I'm hoping people understand that. I'm really asking the fly lawyer questions that will leave the breadcrumbs for you guys when you're making a decision in life. Even if you go back to being the fly lawyer and you're 7 years old and you're making that blueprint, take the emotions out and figure out what's the path of least resistance, right?
Absolutely.
And if it is resistance there, make sure it's worth it.
Correct.
Right. So let me know, if you ever want to chime in, I'm taking what you're saying and I'm trying to create this format. Have your second plan. Like if I'm going to turn left here, that means there's going to be a right turn there.
I've never had a second plan.
Well, not second plan, but your how you was I'm gonna go to the military, then I'm gonna apply to the police department. So it was once I get to the military, then my left turn is the police, then the right turn is law school.
That is correct.
Correct. You're
So I've never had, some people have backup plans in
Yeah.
case you don't succeed. I've never had a backup plan because I always said, this is my plan and I'm sticking to it.
now all your plans seem like they work, but have you had a plan, say, like the wall closing? You go, okay, I'm just gonna go this way.
I've been fortunate.
Man,
I've
that's
never had a
amazing.
door to ever close on me, ever.
Why do you think that was?
I think it's the attitude.
Yeah.
I think attitude determines altitude. I've never been unemployed, blissfully. I've never applied for a job that I didn't get. Most of the jobs I've gotten were offered to me without me even applying. So, for an example, I had a judgeship offered to me without me even applying it. My first job came in Greenville, Georgia, as a judge, and I was handling a jury trial there. And the mayor, Ruby Bird, she, bless her soul, she saw me in court and said, I'd like to fire my judge and hire you. I said, you got to be kidding me. She said, be in my office on so-and-so day. I got sworn in the year 2000 and spent 20 years as a part-time judge.
So that is amazing. So it's like you went to college. I'm still trying to play this all back in my head. Then you went to law school, right? Law school, you're an attorney. You're
3
working-
years at Texas Southern Thurgood Marshall Law School.
Yes. And then now you're out of law school. And while you're working, somebody offers you the position
Yes,
to be a judge.
I had been a lawyer I became a lawyer in 92. And let me back up a little bit. In 96, I had been a lawyer for 4 years. All of a sudden, I get a call from the president of Clark Atlanta University, which is Dr. Thomas Cole at the time. He said that I'm looking for a police chief to get us through the 1996 Olympics. So I'm thinking, like, I'm a lawyer. Why I want to go
Yeah.
back to being law
to-
enforcement? So he said, well, can you come talk to me? So I did. I went and talked to him, had my suit on, and really I was just being nonchalant because I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a lawyer now. So he said, we really want you as our police chief for a 2-year contract to get us through the Olympics. And he said, how much would it take? So I threw out a number
Astronomical.
because I said, look, if you throw out a certain number, he's going to clearly say no.
Yeah.
I threw out the number. He said, when can you start?
What was the number? 96.
$100,000, man.
Dang.
And I had only been a lawyer for like 4 years.
Was it a year or every two?
For two,
Okay.
it was per year.
Yeah.
And so I said, wow, I'm a lawyer, but I ain't quite making $100,000
just
yet.
out of high school,
Had
yeah.
small kids, the whole works. So I went home and told my wife, I said, hey, I'm going to shut this law practice down for a couple of years. And so became the police chief there. And then once that contract was up, I went back to practicing. And then 4 years later, that's when I got the judgeship offer. But keep in mind, in Georgia, you can be a full-time lawyer and a part-time judge at the same time. So I was a part-time municipal, state, and superior court judge for 20 years while I still had my full-time law practice.
Did you ever just want to become a judge full time?
No, because I couldn't make the living that I want by doing that.
You would make more money as an attorney than as a judge?
Oh, people don't realize judges don't make a lot of money. Because
for the esteem,
because
or-
remember, it's you're a county employee. That's correct. So the average judge right now today makes about 110,000.
That's it?
After taxes, you're looking at about 80,000.
So most of them are doing it because they want to go into law.
Well, they're-
Politics after this?
No, they're doing it because it's stable. You've got medical benefits. You've got retirement. You don't have to hustle for clients. And at the same time, you're controlling the courtroom and making sure people get a fair trial. So, and it's also the prestige now. Don't let anybody
Yeah, I
fool
was
you.
going to say, yeah.
And so, but most people that are judges, if they're married, their wife or husband have incomes as well. That makes a difference. Because if you're a judge and you're single, don't get me wrong, that's a wonderful career, but you're not going to be buying a mansion.
Yeah, you're not making it. And you would think a judge, would think like judge, doctor, like they're making that kind of money. Am I right?
Right. No, even a Georgia Supreme Court justice makes around 200,000.
Damn.
We're talking about the highest judge in this state.
That's crazy.
Correct.
But I mean, you know what? I look
But
at it
there's a
like the
lot of-
firefighters. We didn't get paid a lot, but they love what they did.
But
They served
that's
their
the key.
community.
It's a passion. They're administering justice. They're doing all of that. So without those judges, the system wouldn't work.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
we shout out to all the judges. We're,
Yes.
definitely a lot of respect, and we need a lot more people like
And
you
that's
guys.
why I did it part-time, because I still needed to make a living.
Yeah,
as a lawyer.
yeah. And that's crazy because that's what I was about to ask you. Is like, why'd you go from a judge back to what you just explained it?
Yes.
But it seems like You know, I'm a big believer in karma, and it seems like your whole life has been about good energy coming back to you. Is that like something your mom or your dad was like, put this energy out there like a boomerang, it's going to come right back?
I just feel like when it's something about giving and giving back, every time I do that, whether I'm taking food to the homeless, whether like last night I had a
I saw that.
I had a blowout, I hit a pothole, and I was at the service station at the BP at 285 in Donnelly Hollowell, and I had to wait 2 hours last night. Now that's not the same potholes I hit a week ago in my Rolls Royce. I hit a pothole last night in my Maybach. So while I'm sitting there,
Y'all hear him dropping names of cars.
yeah, all the guys in the neighborhood recognized me when they saw me pulling on my rim. They said, "Oh my God, this the fly lawyer, it's the fly lawyer." So I went into the service station, got a soda, came back, and something said, give these guys some money.
Yeah.
So I gave them two crisp $100 bills, and it changed their whole life, and it made my day.
Yeah.
So that's what I like doing.
I heard too, man, because somebody told me that you was going to bring the keys to one of your cars here and just bless a brother. So
Right.
I appreciate you. Let's put you on the spot.
Right, absolutely.
Let's see how much you like it now.
Yes, absolutely. But it's something about, I don't know what it is. I don't expect anything back, but when I do it, my heart just feels overflowed, knowing that I'm making somebody's day, because it only makes my day when I make someone else's.
That's the cool thing, though, is like not expecting anything back. It's like just giving unconditionally. But your life is showing me a pattern of people giving to you, and it's because you've probably, hey, whatever you give the world gives right back to you.
Absolutely.
So again, we're dropping the blueprint for people, right? And we let them know, don't do the judge thing unless you got a wife that makes a lot of money or a husband that makes a lot of money. But then you do criminal law and you do traffic law. Is there one personal
traffic
injury?
is criminal.
Yeah.
All the way from speeding to murder is considered criminal.
I got
Whether
you.
it's speeding, reckless driving, kidnapping, all that's criminal. Personal injury, on my specific area of personal injury, I represent people who get injured in car wrecks and get them compensated.
Okay, another question you don't have to ask if you don't want. So is it true that lawyers take a long damn time with a case that they know is not going to make a lot of money so they can make a lot of money?
You mean on a personal injury case?
Personal injury, criminal, anything. I've had some lawyers that they drag their ass and I get a bill every time I get a phone call. I'm like, this is an open and shut case, motherfucker. Like, close it.
Well, see, that's the difference. Some lawyers charge by the hour.
Yeah.
Some lawyers charge a flat rate. I do the flat rate so that way you never feel like you're being ripped off. So if you're charged with DUI and I charge you $15,000, no matter what work I have to do, that fee remains the same.
Okay.
That's how I believe that lawyers should operate, because just think about it. If I was charging you by the hour, I could make $20,000 in 1 week.
So you don't charge by the hour?
No
I got
matter.
a ticket for carrying my cell phone.
And I charge a flat rate.
How much?
How much? What are you charged with?
Just a hands-free device.
Oh, that's simple. So I'm gonna give you a discount. I would just charge you $500. Anyone else, it'd be $1,500.
I'm going to court.
Right. But no, it's always a flat rate. That way,
Okay.
you and I will never have a disagreement about how much money you owe me.
Okay. And that you'll help me get points, no points.
Oh, I keep it off your record altogether.
Oh, we'll talk after the thing.
Absolutely.
I got to go on Tuesday. I don't know if that can fit your schedule.
Yeah. So it's flat rate to me is the only fair way for you and I to do business. That's my.
I love it. I love it.
On the personal injury side, I do a flat rate. So no matter what we recover for your injury, my percentage stays the same.
About 33 to 40.
33 and a third.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what is, and I'm asking questions that while you're talking, I'm thinking about things. Guys, this is not a rehearsed conversation. He's not advertising. We actually don't let people advertise on this podcast, but it's so much of who he is, and the information is so relevant to some people that don't know. And as a culture, we just are afraid to ask, right? But I want to ask you is, you keep going. Why not stop at sergeant at the police department? No, I'm gonna be a attorney. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 years contract for Clark, and then I'm gonna be a judge. Where is the I'm good? I'm just gonna. It's not like that with you. You just keep going.
Georgia has been around for 292 years.
Yeah.
And I am the only lawyer in 292 years that's ever been a police officer, a police chief, a municipal court judge, a state court judge, superior court judge, and prosecutor. I hope and pray that someone follows me in that footstep. But it's been 292 years. And even to this day, if someone came to me and said, hey, how would you like to do this? I was a gospel DJ in law school, absolutely.
Nice.
And so I'm always looking for ways to say, what can I do to it used to be a point in life people tell themselves, well, I wonder what I can't do, or let me rephrase it. Some people will say, well, I wake up every day wondering if I can do this. I wake up every day and say, what is it that I can't do? Yeah,
And there's nothing you
I don't
can't
feel
do.
like there's nothing I can't do.
Yeah, that word's not allowed in my house. I
Absolutely.
agree with you. You, so what? You're a part-time judge now. You go back to that. You did that for 20 years,
20 years.
right? And said, okay, cool. Now you're an attorney,
Full-time practicer, no longer doing anything part-time.
full-time, your own law firm.
Correct. 33 years
Never
now.
partnered with anyone.
That's correct.
Wow. Okay, so then now we fast forward to the last couple of years. When did you create the Fly Lawyer? I know about the Bentley Lawyer.
Absolutely.
But when did you create the Fly Lawyer? But why did you create even the Bentley Lawyer?
Absolutely. Because you, as a lawyer or any particular career that you have, you want to find a way to stand out that nobody can duplicate what you're doing. You can always be imitated, but never duplicated. And so when I became the Fly, let me tell you how
That's what I want to get to. Yeah.
So once I became the Fly Lawyer, that's when I said, if you're the Fly Lawyer, you've got to up your flyness. I said, you can't be the Fly Lawyer if you're not fly. Now, I've always been a well-dressed lawyer,
Okay.
but I knew I needed to be the Fly Lawyer. So obviously, Miguel Wilson Collection.
Shout out to Miguel Wilson.
I'm his only ambassador. I'm also the ambassador for Keith and James, his only ambassador. Red Bottom Shoes.
Have you partnered up with them yet?
Believe it or not, Christian Louboutin signed my 101st
I saw that.
pair of. So he'll be in town again in a couple of weeks. So he'll sign a new pair. But I do not have a partnership with him. I just enjoy the brand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so the Fly Lawyer to me, and then I started doing my music, of course.
Yeah.
And so I found ways to just elevate, to make sure that nobody could elevate as a lawyer now. We're talking about the career as a lawyer. There's a lot of well-dressed lawyers out there, but I've got some friends that are absolutely dressed well.
They're doing their thing.
But they're not the Fly Lawyer. Nobody dressed like the Fly Lawyer.
Yo, when you were becoming famous, when there's rumors about you, right? So
Yep.
the rumor is that the Fly Lawyer was created after your fight with COVID. And then someone said that after a near-death, that's when you know you're doing something right?
Right.
After a near-death experience, you created, hey, I'm going to live this life. I'm going to
Correct.
become, is that true or no?
That is a true story.
Oh, it's not a rumor.
It's not a rumor.
Okay.
What happened, I unfortunately caught COVID in 2020. In March of 2020, I spent about 40 days in the hospital, spent 6 months off work. My ex-wife, who happens to be my best friend, Yasmin, when she picked me up from the hospital and took me to her place, I lived on her sofa for almost 6 months. She went and got all the insure, all my medication. Thank God to have an ex-wife who happens to be my best friend. She's such a best friend to me. I literally wrote a song about her. It's called Forever Grateful for Yasmin. So it's on, if you put the Fly Lawyer in, that song will pop up in your platform.
Shout out Yasmin.
Ever since I realized I was on my deathbed, didn't think I would ever be able to go back to my place again. Once I got healthy, I said, I thought I was living a good life before COVID. I'm about to show the world that you're not invincible. So every day now, I live like it's my last one. So I buy everything that I want for myself. I travel the world. It gave me a whole new perspective because I had never been sick. In my whole life, I had never been sick.
And you said everything's always been going right for you.
That's correct. And so when you realize no matter how much money you have, no matter how many Louboutins you have, how many cars you have, when you're on your deathbed, none of that matters. Those are material things. Now that I'm healthy, they're still material things, but I look at it in a different fashion.
Which way?
I look at it now, that's just an extra. My health is everything. The real wealth is your health. Nothing else come before. I didn't realize how serious your health is until you don't have it.
Do you think God was trying to tell you anything? Like, so you could be like, you're doing great, but God might be saying, Flalo, you're not doing enough.
Correct. I think I was doing a lot, but I don't think the purpose was there. I wasn't giving back as much then as I am now. I mean, I was having too much focusing on myself and having fun. But after COVID, I started thinking about others, and that's what did it.
That's crazy because you do, man, you put a smile on a lot of people's face, man. First time. And one thing I'm going to tell you, bro, that I really, really love about you is you don't care if it's a crowd of 2 people or 200 people. You're going to give them a show. Like, like the money come out.
Yes, I will perform on the spot.
Listen, you be throwing money at men too, man. I don't know, but I don't be too comfortable with that. You be making it rain on my head, bro. We
Absolutely.
change the routine on that part a little. But yeah, I was like, first time I met you, it was a pool party.
Yeah.
You grabbed that mic. I was like, who is this? That was like, she's a flower. But it's crazy, man.
And let me tell you how the rapping started. That started a little over 3 years ago. A rapper named Stunner, who writes all of my songs except the last 3 or 4. But he wrote my first 8 or 9 songs. And his brother was in trouble with the law. Somebody referred him to me. He had a lawyer and he was facing 8 years in prison on felonies. Stunner came to me and I told Stunner, I said, look, if I keep your brother out of prison, you owe me a rap song. He said, we got a deal. When we went to court, not only did I get his felonies dismissed, but I got him 6 months in the county jail on misdemeanors, and he only served 3 months for that because you get a day for a day. About 2 weeks later, I get a song from Stunner on my text.
What was it?
And it was called Win For You. That was my first song. After that, we did Keep You Out That Cell. Then he wrote Baby I'm Fly.
I heard that
You're
one too.
Classy and Fly. Man, I've got a catalog. I can't even think of them all right now. But Stunner is the best songwriter on the planet.
You ever help him write?
We collab. There's, for an example, he can write a song and I said, Stunner, I don't think I like this verse. Let's put this in here. So yes, on all the songs I collaborate because I can't let it come out until it fits my theme and my vibe. But Stunner is
he's doing a great job because his job's fit.
In fact, just today, he's in the studio again creating another song. He's going to send that to me in about a week, and then I'll see how I like it, and then we'll go from there.
Stunner?
Stunner.
I need him to write me a song.
Yeah,
we don't call it podcast.
He is the best writer on the planet.
All right. So what's your favorite song?
You know,
my man Chef got me laughing.
I got to admit, the one that I perform the most is called Fly Lawyer Sauce. That's the one that I performed. That's correct.
Yeah, I like that.
But the one that I like the most is called Fly Seduction. It's talking about the lady, hey, you know, when you get fly seduction, you're not going to any other seduction. And so it's called Fly Seduction.
You got a verse?
Absolutely.
Say it.
Oh, come on.
Let's do the verse real quick.
Let me pull it out just a little bit for you. Let me pull it out just a little bit.
One verse real quick, because if it's your greatest and your dopest,
absolutely,
we got to share it with the people. I know the one. Every time you see me,
I
know that one.
Here it is right here.
All right, cool. Put it to the... Can you hear that?
Fly Lawyer music.
Let's go.
I don't need no introduction.
Hey.
Spoiling you ain't no discussion. And I'ma always keep you blushing. You know you love this fly seduction. I seduce you with this love that I got for you. I seduce you with this slice, I'm gonna show you something new. You can get whatever you want, cause I'm in love with you. First you told me all your dreams, and now they coming through seduction. I love to see you smile. I'm buying you a Birkin bag, you compliment my smile. Call you a dozen roses, you deserve your flowers. Call the masseuse to the house to massage you for hours. Yeah. Next stop is Icebox. Introduce you to my jeweler, cause I want you iced out. I'm the fly lawyer, baby girl, and it's my lifestyle. I'ma call up a jet, I'm taking you to Thailand.
Let's go. The fly lawyer game us up. Listen, that was dope, man. That was, listen, do you cut?
It's just died. I got it. It's perfect timing.
Oh, okay, perfect. You gonna just change the battery?
Change the battery.
All right, roll. We got to keep this energy going. Can we just keep going and just?
Yeah, you can still keep going.
Yeah, because you still got him, you still got me.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I just want to keep that momentum going, man. So, you know, you different. You're very different, but a great different.
Thank you.
Right? Do you feel the energy when you walk in the room? Because it's probably a lot of white lawyers, a lot of black lawyers, and you coming in like, yo, don't call me
Let
Patterson.
they don't call me that. All my
Yeah.
lawyer friends call me the fly lawyer. When I go into the courtroom, the judge will say, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant is represented by the fly lawyer," and the jury look like, "Whoa," and because they see all the flyness.
Yeah.
And I wear my chain to every trial, and so. And there are lawyers out, like for an example, a month ago, I'm in the jury box waiting on the judge to come in. Me and the lawyer shooting the breeze. He pulls out his phone and starts singing one of my songs, so I post it. So it's really a lot of, they show me nothing but
Positive
love.
energy.
Nothing
I
but
love
love.
that, man. I love
Yes.
that. So what has been, if you can, because we laid down a blueprint, you started from young, just visualizing what you want. And so, and you created that map, right? But then you just kept going. And then now every time you kept going, you made sure you gave along the way. But then you had that life-changing moment where you're like, it's been about me for a while and God's trying to talk to me, right?
That's correct.
And then you said, I'm gonna live this life. And that's really how the fly lawyer
That's right.
came about.
It's positivity, but thinking of others and giving back to others. Because before COVID, sure, I gave, but it was all about me. But now it's about the fly lawyer, but it comes with a stipulation of giving to others. And that's what makes the difference.
Is there a different type of happiness?
It is. I'm at peace. Yeah, Miguel Wilson, my clothing designer,
And friend.
That's right, and great friend of mine.
Yeah.
He wrote a book and it says, if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. So
Sure. Did Miguel tell us about his book?
that's right. He's got a book.
Miguel, why didn't you tell us about it? Miguel was a guest here. Y'all got to look at his episode. Very intelligent man, really good guy.
Absolutely.
So Miguel has a book called what?
It's called Peace Over Everything.
Peace Over Everything. Where is it at? Amazon,
It's
probably?
on Amazon, absolutely.
Come on, Miguel.
And what I remember the most reading his book, he said that if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive.
So what you felt like, well, shout out to Miguel. Books in Amazon. If it costs you your piece, it's too expensive. What you felt like was costing your piece?
I think I was too focused on just enjoying life and not thinking about other people. And so I had peace, but it wasn't within, it was external peace. But once I got COVID and started thinking about other people and their situation and their environment, sleeping at night became a whole different process. I got full night's sleeps knowing that when I wake up, I was going to do something for someone else.
You wake up, just go to sleep, think about other people, wake up.
correct.
I read this story about this rich billionaire who owned so many companies and couldn't find peace. One of his companies were a company that manufactured like wheelchairs. And he, and I'm probably chopping the story all up, had an opportunity to give like a wheelchair to a particular guy who really needed it. And he was able to give it to him. He said that experience alone changed his life. And now that's all he does.
Correct.
Is like missionary work and and you do so much. It's like, you give yourself flowers,
I do.
but do people give you flowers?
They do, but it comes through showing love in person. When I
You mean by the receipt?
I'm sorry.
When the credit card charges? No, just
when we see each other, it's like knowing that people enjoy running into you and you enjoy running into them. Just that hug and that embrace, that's the really love that I enjoy.
But I know you've had people go, man, you saved my life, and
Yes.
really mean it.
Absolutely. In fact, I just posted on my page, a guy texted me the other day on Instagram. He said, you may not remember me, but a couple of years ago, he said that I was getting out of my car and he had a public defender, and he said, man, can I just ask you a question? He said, not only did I give him my phone number right there on the spot, and then I told him to call me in 20 minutes and then send me his discovery, even though I was not his lawyer. But I gave him advice. He went to court with his public defender after speaking with his public defender and beat 8 of the 9 charges.
Based on the advice
I
you gave him.
didn't even remember the guy, but that's what he texted me, and I posted that on my page.
Was that post-COVID or?
No, this was 2 years ago. He just texted me last week.
God has
but he
something
said
different
it
for
was
you,
2
bro.
years ago.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
God has something different for you, and
Absolutely.
you were sleepwalking,
It was
enjoying
post-COVID.
life.
It was.
Yeah,
That's right.
and people needed to see the fly lawyer. They didn't need to see Jackie
Absolutely.
Patterson.
And then he said that I had him to send me his whole discovery packet, and I read it for free and gave him advice.
And then now you're just still receiving blessings probably from that.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna give you your flowers. Now I ain't got
thank
any
you.
real flowers, but man, you were needed.
Thank you.
And I always see people like you. And one thing we've been doing lately is like when people, and I love all my guests, there's some people I haven't done this for, and they're probably thinking, you ain't do this for me. And I'll edit it and do something for you.
Absolutely.
But people like you, man, when it's in my spirit, and it seems like you're a gospel DJ. So what's your belief? Like, do you believe in God?
I don't go to church much, but every day, first of all, when I wake up, the first thing I do before I ever put on anything, I get right on my knees and say, Lord, see, the problem with most people, now I'm not criticizing people, but most people will get up and say, Lord, I need some money to pay this bill. I really need some money to pay my car note. I get up and say, Lord, thank you for what you've already done. And then the blessings continue.
The gratitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's crazy because I think people like you, like Miguel, everybody that's been on my show has really, Chef, which has been about giving back. We haven't had anyone that's really just been about them. I don't even know if it's just subconsciously we're vetting them, but it's really the healthcare CEO. It's about healthcare.
Absolutely.
And you're showing people how to really have a healthy legal mindset.
Absolutely.
Right? And so people like you that's probably saved so many lives, yeah, we got to pray over you, man, and protect people
I
like
appreciate you. I definitely appreciate
you. You want to pray real quick?
Absolutely.
All right, Father, we thank you for the fly lawyer being here. We thank you that he was able to legally change his name 3 years ago, even though he capped and put it on social media the other day, and we thought it was brand new. But we thank you for that, Father, and we just thank you for him. And we ask that you continue to bless him so he can bless others with the best advice that they need to, maybe change their life, Lord. We ask that every word he says has favor on it. Every hand that he touches has favor on it. Everything that he sees has favor on it, that he does everything to please you, which he is. But you put him in levels that he never imagined that he could be in, and always protect him through thick and thin. Just protect this guy right now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank
Jackie,
you,
you're somebody to really be admired, man. And I hope people are just really, when they see your car, when they see your billboard, they gotta really cherish that moment, right? It's like when you see basketball and they go, everybody who's watching LeBron James, whether you like him or not, just thank God you get the chance to see this guy play, because when it's over, it's over.
Correct.
Right? So I love your path. I want to ask you two questions, and then you can tell me first question is, what's next for the Fly Lawyer?
If my life stayed just like it is for the remainder of my life, I would be totally content, because that means I'm going to be giving back to the end.
Nice. And three-part question. Anybody who wants to do, like that young kid that's at Clark, that's like, I'm thinking about going to law school, but I want to be a judge too, or what would you tell them?
I would tell them to find someone who's in the same profession that they would like to become, and let that person be their mentor. That's the key.
Do you mentor people?
Absolutely. I do internships, people in college and in law school. I do internships in the summer. I let people come to court to watch my trials, because they need to see what an actual lawyer does before they determine really if that's what they want to do. And I also give scholarships. One young lady, I just finished her 4-year book scholarship. So I do that as well, giving out scholarships for undergrad, for law school. Those things are just so important. Right now, I'm setting up a scholarship for John Marshall Law School.
Nice.
And so I want to do a book scholarship for them.
Nice. If there's one thing that you think you give more than anything, what is it?
Say that again.
Is there if there's one thing you think you give more than anything, what is it?
It's my heart.
Nice. And heart equals time.
Absolutely.
So you give people a lot of your time, and then people come back. So you constantly get people saying, 2 years from now, hey, you did this for me. Hey.
And I don't even remember.
Christmas cards. You saved my son's life. Right. I could imagine, man. It's just, that got to make you feel like.
It does, because they remember me because I was their lawyer, but I don't remember them. But when they bring it back to my memory, even if I don't remember, I'm just so overjoyed that it worked out.
Do you feel like your heart is full?
I do. It's just overflowing with joy. It's overflowing with peace. And every day that I wake up, I'm like, wow, what a wonderful day.
That's beautiful. Gratitude is everything, right? Gratitude is the right attitude. Last question, if there was anything you could go back and tell the 20-year-old Fly Lawyer, what would it be?
Don't waste time, because you can't get it back. You've got to every day be working towards some goal, because if you're 20 now and you wait till you're 35, chances are you're not going to accomplish all the goals that you're looking for. So you cannot waste time.
And I think the one thing I learned from you is live life to the fullest. Don't care what anybody say.
That's right.
Walk around with that aura, that glow, And God's got you regardless.
Absolutely.
Man, you're the best, bro. I'm definitely going to talk to you about that day.
I look forward to it. Right.
It's in my car right now. Some bullshit, bro.
My God, I'm so honored to be here with you.
Yes. Yeah, man. Listen, you've been one of the, guests that we put an asterisk in, and we're like, hey, whenever you're available, we usually shoot this time, but for you, certain people, man, we're like, bro, when we're blessed to have you, speak on this mic, man, it's like you said, it's just gratitude, right?
Absolutely.
And that's why we did the studio the way we did, because we want to invite people that really say, oh, they're inviting me, and they really take me seriously. And that's why we did spend the money we spent on the studio, because we want people to know when we invite you here, it's not for play. It's like we are taking your presence serious. And I hope people just see your thing and really contact you if they need any assistance. So what would be outside of, if it's music, if it's law, how do people get in touch with the Fly Lawyer?
My Instagram is The Fly Lawyer. My website is theflylawyer.com. If you just Google The Fly Lawyer, you'll be able to find me, because there's only one fly lawyer on the planet, and I'm him. And
remember this, guys, no matter what you do, trademark that name, or you'll have a cease and desist in your email. Because I was thinking about that, right? That's another gem that you dropped, but it's lessons learned.
Yes.
And it made you become the person God wanted you to become, because he didn't want you to be somebody else.
That's
Bentley, he wanted you to be the Fly.
You hit it down.
God is like, I got a special name for you trying to ride out with them.
Right.
That's true. And he had to say, all right, I'm going to change your mind
for you. As mad as I was at the time, it was the greatest blessing.
And it came at 3 a.m.
Absolutely.
When God talks.
Absolutely.
While everybody else is sleeping. Mm-hmm. I love it, man. Listen, I love having you here. The Fly Lawyer, he dropped a song on us. He dropped gems. Now, you probably know something about him you didn't know. And is there anything you want to leave people with?
I just want people to know that there's nothing that you really can't accomplish in life if you set your mind to it. And as I said, the only thing that comes to a sleeper is a dream. So you must stay awake, and get it done. Nothing is impossible.
You know who you remind me of? You are the Ric Flair of law.
Oh, thank you.
Rolex wearing.
Thank you.
Listen, that's my man. That was all of our idols growing up. I hated him as a wrestler, but I loved his swag. I was like, I want to be him.
Thank you.
I couldn't do the blonde hair, but anything else, that dude was
absolutely.
You're the Ric Flair of the law, man. The legal game, bro. Yes. Yeah, that's great, man. So listen, episode 22 is a wrap. We got the Fly Lawyer in the house, man, and he did everything. You guys really got to listen to this episode. And if you love it, like it, click the like button, share it, subscribe to the channel. All right, Healthcare CEO Podcast. Thank you again, my brother.
My pleasure, my guy.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Love you always, man. Episode 22, we are done. Let's go.